Today we are having a look at the VW Polo Vivo GT. We'll mainly be focusing on the pre-facelift models, so 2018 to 2023. But we will also look at the new facelift model so we see how it compares in terms of price and what you get. So if you were thinking about buying a Polo Vivo GT, then this video is for you. So yes guys, today we're checking out the VW Polo Vivo GT. We're going to talk about the market value, we're going to talk about the whole experience on the car, how it drives, reliability, and basically break down everything on these. So big thanks to the owner of this car for bringing it out here for me to record. He does have a cool Instagram where he posts some awesome pictures of the car because it does have some custom touches. As you can see, suspension is lowered. So those kind of things basically. So his Instagram is on screen right now. Do check him out. And yeah, let's dive into it. To kickstart the video, let's first do an overview of the exterior and interior. Our example today has plenty of custom touches from the owner, like lowering springs, R-line seats, and a slightly tuned engine. But we'll look past those and focus on the OEM stuff. Although I have to give the owner a massive shout out for the OEM Plus look. Up front, you have a more aggressive bumper, some LED headlights with daytime running lights, and you also get fog lights lower down. The GT logo is smartly integrated into the grille to warn you when the car is in your rear view mirror. On the side, you find these beautiful looking 5 double spoke rims, a racing style GT decal, and with this view, you properly appreciate the stance of the car. Further back at the top, you get a more aggressive roof spoiler, and at the back there is a single exit exhaust, a deeper and more aggressive rear bumper, and just a GT badge as a decal. Jumping inside the interior, there's aluminium foot pedals like you'd get in a manual GTI, and these just help elevate the interior. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the R-line seats, which the owner retrofitted. There is a nice flat bottom steering wheel, analog dials for the instrument cluster, a multicolor touchscreen infotainment screen. The interior feels solid, but most of the trimmings are just hard plastics. But that is normal in a car of this nature and price point. Back outside, let's take a look at the engine. The Vivo GT is powered by a 1-liter turbo 3-cylinder with 81 kilowatts of power and 200 Newton meters of torque. The very latest one still uses this engine with the same power and torque output. Oh, also take note, these cars only come in manual. Now, let's look at the main thing that would sway you towards this particular Vivo GT over a brand new one, and that is the price. But first, let's look at how much the cars retailed for when they were new. When this generation of Polo Vivo launched in June 2018, the GT retailed from 281,200 rands. For comparison purposes, a 2025 Vivo GT starts from 363,100 rands. That's a 82,000 rand increase for the same engine, power, and pretty much the same styling with minor tweaks. So let's see how much they are listed for on the used car market. The price ranges from 170,000 rands for 2018 models with about 150,000 kilometers and over, with later models fetching over 300,000 rands with low mileage. The sweet spot is all the cars in between, selling for around 250,000 rands. So I highly recommend these examples, although you can still find the new one with massive discounts, more especially demo models. So the owner said he got the car 2021, ne?
Yes.
Yeah. Got the brand new actually.
Yes.
Oh wow, and it's now sitting on 134,000 Ks. And here's the most interesting thing. You actually maintain the car yourself, like servicing and stuff.
Yes.
Wow. So what's the service interval on these?
So usually it's every 15,000 kilometers. Yeah, that's what I followed. So since 45,000 maintenance plan lapsed, I took over. So I did all the brakes, your belts. I haven't done the cab belt yet, but everything I've done it.
Because usually the cam belt stuff, it's the most expensive, ne?
At the dealership, yes.
At the dealership.
Yeah.
And where do you get like the servicing kit?
So I do a mix and match. Depending on where I get a good price, I could still go to VW for certain parts, but usually I go to Goldwagen, and I prefer liquid moly.
And you get everything from these guys.
Everything. Spark plugs, the oil filters, everything.
And in terms of issues, like have you experienced any issues on the car?
Yeah, I've had issues. Like I've had one big issue when it was new with the EPC light, but that was fixed really quickly in a week when I came back from Durban.
Yeah.
It was under warranty, but it was just squeaky noise, brake pads and discs. But overall, I've never had any major issue with this car.
But these are actually fun to drive, eh?
It's a nice.
Like it stands out compared to, can I call them budget cars? When you compare it to other budget cars when it comes to stability and, you know, those kind of things.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's a nice car for a daily, if you want a nice toy. Because sometimes, like, you know how us boys are, we like racing and stuff.
Does this car have hill start assist?
Yes, it does.
So how does that work in here?
You just hold it on the... While you're holding your brakes, you see, it's going to hold it for you for like a couple of seconds, then it let goes.
So if you ever had any issues with starting on inclines and stuff. Oh, I see. Okay. Technology. This car's got some good push to it, eh?
Not gonna, even when you're overtaking.
Like it's so easy, ne?
Easier, it's effortless.
Speaking of naturally aspirated, so the main selling point with the GTs is you get that turbo on the engine because the other models are naturally aspirated,
yes.
Ne? I believe there's a 1.6,
correct,
ne?
Yes.
And a 1.4.
Yeah, the CLP, I think it's a 1.4, and the CLS, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 1.6.
So yeah, with the GT, obviously having the turbo, you get that extra torque and the extra power, of course. And that is literally the main selling point on one of these. And that brings us to the end of this Polo Vivo GT breakdown. For the driving experience, I'll be posting a POV drive video where the owner and I will talk about maintenance and his experience with the car. So all in all, these cars are really great. You just need to be very smart when shopping for them, especially if you are working on a budget. So the reason why I wouldn't necessarily recommend the facelift is that it doesn't really change much compared to the pre-facelift. So you still get the same engine like we touched, the same power figures and performance, and even in the interior, there is a slightly updated infotainment screen, although I feel like it doesn't really give you much. Yes, it comes with Apple CarPlay, but I think most people can live past that. As long as you can connect your phone via Bluetooth, you can still listen to music and stuff. But I don't know. You guys do let me know in the comment section what you think about the Polo Vivo GT in general. Thanks for watching.